State of Tennessee Governor Bill Lee's Executive Order 16, permitting electronic meetings in response to the COVID-19 crisis. I am going to go ahead and turn this over to Dr. Battle.
Thank you so much, Ms. Spearing. And good afternoon, board members. I'm pleased to have a chance to talk with you today about our early post-secondary opportunities for our students. We're going to hear a presentation about how we can give our high school students more opportunities to earn advanced placement credits, IB diplomas, industry certifications, and other types of post-secondary credits that will give them a head start on college and careers. We already do this well in a number of our schools, but we know we can do more. That's the main reason behind the Metro Schools Reimagine work we've been talking about so much, creating more advanced academic opportunities, stronger academic pathways, and greater outcomes for all students in every cluster. This is also the focus of Better Together, which is a joint venture with Nashville State Community College to create more and better ways for students to go from high school to post-secondary education to careers. One of the most important pieces of Better Together, and one of the ones I'm most excited about, will be a significant expansion in dual enrollment opportunities for our students so they can get college credit or even an associate's degree while they're in high school, because we know what a difference that can make in a student's prospects for success. Now, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. David Williams, our Chief Academic Officer, to get into some of the details. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Battle. Good afternoon, Ms. Spearing and members of the MNPS board. Jamal, you can go ahead and advance the slide there, please. We want to first look at some of the outcomes that we hope to achieve this afternoon. We want to ensure that our board members have the most up-to-date information regarding early post-secondary opportunities, or EPSOs for short, available in Metro Nashville Public Schools, including participation and success data. And secondly, we want to connect this work directly to MNPS Reimagine. We know the board has received a great deal of information regarding this work, and advanced academics is certainly a big focus of MNPS Reimagine. So we want to take some time to dig into exactly what that means. Next slide, please. For our agenda, I'm going to take a little bit of time to quickly define what early post-secondary opportunities are and how students in Metro's Nashville Public Schools are able to earn these credits and credentials. Then I'm going to turn it over to our main presenters. We have Dr. Matt Nelson, our Director of Advanced Academics, to provide more in-depth information regarding our advanced academic programs, which typically fall into the general education space. And he will also connect this work to MNPS Reimagine. And then Donna Gilley, our other primary presenter today, she's our Director for the Academies of Nashville and Career and Technical Education, or CTE. And she will speak to us about EPSOs through a career lens and also connect these opportunities to MNPS Reimagine. On the next slide, I want to begin by looking at the MNPS strategic plan. Under our students, the bucket, our students, strategy number 2, which is to provide equitable access across MNPS schools and clusters, and to provide a high-quality, well-rounded pre-K-12 education. High-level action number 7 is about expanding access to and success in EPSOs, early post-secondary opportunities, for all of our students. Can we get the next slide, please? Yes, so here you can see high-level action number 7, which is, again, to expand middle and high school students access to and success in acquiring these EPSOs. So that this is exactly what high-level action number 7 under strategy 2 and our students says. Next slide, please, Jamal. So there's a lot of information on the slide, and we understand that. In this presentation, we'll go into all of these programs in some detail, but we wanted to use this graphic because it is from the state and it helps us stay consistent, at least visually, and in our messaging, as many of these EPSOs can not just be used necessarily in Nashville, but across other post-secondary institutions across the state. What you see here are the 6 main EPSOs that we're going to dig into this afternoon. AP probably is the most familiar, where students can take a course and then an assessment, and if they're successful, to earn college credit. Next, we have Cambridge International Exams, or CIE. This is a pre-university international program developed by Cambridge University, where students can also earn college credit. DE stands for dual enrollment. where MNPS students are technically dually enrolled in their high school and also at the same time in post-secondary institutions. These courses can be taught by a higher ed faculty member or a high school faculty member if they meet certain criteria to teach the higher ed. And if a student is successful in that course, then they earn the college credit with that institution in which they're duly enrolled. We also have IB, which is the International Baccalaureate, another pre-university international program that allows students to earn college credit. We also have next the gray column there, LDC stands for Local Dual Credit. This is similar to dual enrollment, and sometimes there's a little bit of confusion, but the difference is this is a high school course taught by a high school instructor, and students at the end of the course take what's called a challenge exam. That challenge exam is developed by post-secondary faculty and staff, and if students are successful on the challenge exam, then they can earn credit in that institution as well. And finally, we have IC, stands for Industry Certification, which are aligned to workforce and career expectations, so students have a credential in hand to immediately enter their workforce or pursue further education in that field. Next slide, please. Ready Graduate Assessment is fairly new across the state. There are 4 ways by which a student could be considered a ready graduate. This is also part of our state's accountability metrics. So high schools, 20% of their accountability scores go into the percentage of students that are considered to be a ready graduate. And you can see the 4 ways in which a student could be considered a ready graduate. And in case you're wondering, yes, that is Dr. Battle there in her Overton. So at this time, next slide, please. You can see there's a heavy focus there on EPSOs in order to become ready graduates. So that's why this work is critically important. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Matt Nelson, who's going to dig into advanced academics for us. Dr. Nelson.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. And school board members, thank you for giving us this opportunity today to talk to you about early post-secondary opportunities. As you saw in that graphic and as explained, there are a lot of different programs that fall under EPSOs. And so for clarity, when we refer to advanced academics, we are primarily talking about the 3 external assessment options, that advanced placement, international baccalaureate, and Cambridge International, as well as the general education courses that fall in dual enrollment in partnerships with our post-secondary institutions. So as we think ahead for advanced academics in the district and as we engage in MNPS reimagined work, we keep 3 priorities in focus. First, we want to align advanced academic programs where possible so that they're extending from our elementary schools all the way through our high schools. We know that more students will be encouraged to continue with advanced coursework such as AP, IB, and Cambridge if they are exposed to it earlier in their educational journey. And we want students to know in our cluster elementary schools what opportunities lie ahead for them and how they can best prepare to encounter success in these early post-secondary courses. Secondly, we hope to implement stronger data tracking systems to inform our decisions and to measure impact about advanced academic programs. Currently, we look primarily at student participation and success, or the scores, on the culminating exams. We should be looking at additional data such as student potential, student persistence in rigorous coursework, and program effectiveness, just to name a few. And finally, we need to have some open and frank discussions about performance gaps, about student access to rigorous courses, and about targeted interventions that are needed to improve student outcomes. There was some supplemental data that you received where you can see that we have some gaps and where additional supports are needed. And we hope to address some of these needs, at least partially, through the work that we are doing with MNPS Reimagined. On the next slide, we look at advanced placement. This slide will show us the number of AP exams that were administered in our district in blue over the past 5 years, and the number of exams which earned a passing score in orange. I will point out at this time that 2020 exam data does not become available until later in the summer. This year's data will be impacted by COVID-19 because students were able to opt out of taking the exam with no penalty. Advanced placement courses are the most common advanced option currently available in our district, and AP courses are available at every MNPS high school. We did see a significant increase in the number of AP exams administered in 2017-2018, and that was the first year that the district did cover the exam fees, and students did not have to pay the nearly $100 per exam fee. The overall number of passing exam scores has remained fairly flat over the 5 years. And in the document that was provided, you can look at additional data points such as the racial and ethnic breakdowns, individual school performance, as well as a comparison among zoned MNPS schools, charter schools, and academic magnet schools. The next slide, we look at Cambridge, which is the next advanced academic program considered an EPSO. Cambridge is currently offered at 4 MNPS high schools, as well as some of the middle and elementary feeder schools. When we refer to Cambridge ACE, we are talking about the highest level Cambridge courses that are usually taken by high school juniors and seniors. Like AP, each Cambridge ACE course has an external examination that is scored, and student scores can potentially earn college credit. If students accumulate enough points and complete the core components of the Cambridge program, they may qualify for the internationally recognized Cambridge ACE diploma. And in 2019, we did have 11 MNPS students who met those requirements, which is quite an honor and accomplishment for them. Since our initial implementation of this program, we have seen an increasing number of students take the courses and the associated exams. And we have Stratford High School, which is currently implementing the Cambridge program for underclassmen students, and they hope to add the Cambridge ACE courses starting in 2021. Our next slide will show International Baccalaureate, or the IB program, which is very similar to Cambridge. We currently have the highest level diploma program offered in 3 MNPS high schools and several middle and elementary feeder schools. East Nashville middle and high schools are entering their candidacy phase, and hopefully they will have authorized IB programs starting in 2021. Like Cambridge ACE and advanced placement, students in IB diploma courses can take an external assessment, and their scores can potentially earn college credit. If students accumulate enough points based on the exam scores and they fulfill the IB core components, they can qualify for the International Baccalaureate diploma. And we had 36 MNPS students who met these requirements in 2019. Over the past several years, we've seen a slight decrease in the number of students taking IB exams, with the exam performance remaining fairly consistent over that time period. In the next slide, we see dual enrollment, which refers to students who are taking both high school and college credits for courses that they take while enrolled in MNPS. High school juniors and seniors can take dual enrollment courses as long as they meet the admissions requirement for the post-secondary institution. And the Tennessee Dual Enrollment Grant oversees or covers the cost for tuition for these courses. Dual enrollment can be both general education courses or CTE courses. And on the general education side, English composition and college algebra are by far the most common courses taken by our students. We also have early college high school in our district, where students take classes at Nashville State Community College, and they can graduate high school having earned their associate's degree. And finally, as I wrap up this section on advanced academics, on the next slide, you'll see, I'll draw your attention back to MNPS Reimagined cluster plans, where you can see an emphasis on advanced academics. Now, each cluster will have its own area of focus, but we are striving to bring aligned advanced programs to these clusters so that students, families, schools, and community members can begin to better understand and articulate early post-secondary opportunities for students. Students in these clusters should have more opportunity to access rigorous coursework and more opportunity to earn post-secondary credits while enrolled in high school. And finally, we know that student success on early post-secondary opportunities depends on a strong foundation, which begins as early as pre-kindergarten. So as we focus our work around advanced academics, we'll be looking at strong pre-K through 12 vertical articulation and not just focusing on our upperclassmen courses alone. And with that, I will turn it over to my colleague, Donna Gilley. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, Matt, and good afternoon, board members. I'm excited Go ahead and move the next slide. I'm excited to tell you about some of the EPSOs or the EPSOs that we focus on in the academies of Nashville, and especially within our career and technical education programming. First, let's look at local dual credit. As David mentioned, local dual credit is an excellent opportunity for all students to be exposed to college level work and the possibility of earning college credit without GPA or ACT requirements. As you can see, we work with 5 local post-secondary partners to align the high school courses being taught by our very own high school teachers to the college or university courses. The post-secondary partner creates all assessments, and we often call those assessments challenge exams, in which students take at the end of the high school course. If the student passes the exam, they can retrieve their college credit either at the aligned institution, or they can request a transcript or letter to take to another college or university. The best news of all, and what really excites me, is if a student does not pass the exam, their future college transcript is not to be impacted. Therefore, local dual credit is a perfect way to expose all students to the rigor of college. We have opportunities in every single high school in Metro with personal finance, because that is a graduation requirement. Additionally, every CTE pathway within our academies includes at least one opportunity to earn college credit through local dual credit and counts as one EPSO credit towards the ready graduate. Next slide. Matt talked a little bit about dual enrollment in the gen ed courses. The same rules apply where the dual enrollment grant and fees will pick up the tuition in CTE courses just like in the gen ed courses, but there's generally a GPA and ACT requirement for the students, as well as instructor credentialing for the teachers. In some cases, our high school teachers meet that hiring requirement and the post-secondary partner, and we offer that course as dual enrollment. As you can see on the slide, we've got examples in the medical area, in anatomy and physiology, and medical terminology, and also in accounting. Next slide, and let's take a look at data. Now let's take a look at our data over the years. I think you were also emailed reports that provide a bit deeper look, but let's look at our work in this area over the past 5 years. The blue line shows the number of students that attempted the local dual credit challenge exam or participated in the CTE dual enrollment course. The orange line shows the students that passed. You will notice a huge increase in both participation and passage in 2017-18, when we were able to remove the financial burden and pay for this experience. And we appreciate the board's support in that. Student participation increased from 981 students in 2016-17 to almost 1,700 students in the 17-18 school year. In 2018-19, over 1,000 students earned early college credit through CTE, and that gave the district a 69% pass rate. Yes, we had almost a 70% passage rate on college challenge exams. I'm excited to tell you that in 1920, over 2,500 students enrolled in dual credit or dual enrollment courses. And these students will have an option to test in the fall due to the distance learning delaying that we had in the spring. You can see from the graph. We don't have that information, but I look forward to being able to report back to you at a later time. I want to talk with you on the next slide about technical certificates. As we talk about our post-secondary partners, I want to let you know that we are hard at work with Nashville State Community College to build intentional pipelines for students to complete up to 15 to 18 hours of college curriculum towards a technical certificate. We want to be able to tell our families that their child could begin working on college and career while in high school and be set to earn a technical certificate with Nashville State within 1 year of graduating high school. This is part of both MNPS Reimagined and the Better Together collaboration with Nashville State Community College. That work will start with 9th graders being matched with industry mentors that will continue through their first year at Nashville State and include work-based learning experiences and apprenticeships. We are committed to making sure our students are both college and career ready. And as we're thinking about careers, let's look at our next slide. We've talked about the, and what does this look like? I'm sorry, let me make sure I address this one. So with those technical certificates that I discussed at Pearl Cone, we're working very closely right now with the Dean of their healthcare to develop a central sterile processing pipeline where students at Pearl Cone will be within 1 semester of earning that technical certificate when they leave Pearl Cone. We're also working with their music technology department to align something with their music academy there at Pearl Cone. At Maplewood, we're already working with their engineering and electrical engineering area, that dean, to develop an industry electrical maintenance technical certificate to align with their STEM work at Maplewood. And we'll also be aligning their healthcare academy with the medical assisting and developing that. So we're working hand in hand. That technical certificate does not exist right now, but the dean is so committed that they want to build one that will be offered at both Maplewood and Whites Creek. And then at Whites Creek, again, the medical assisting that we talked about, but we're also very committed to bringing STEM or STEAM to that cluster so that we can enable students to be able to continue to work on their college and career readiness. And now we'll move to the next slide and talk about industry certifications. So we've talked a lot about the college ready side of the Ready Graduate, but I'd love to turn our attention to the career ready portion. Industry certifications are generally skill-based credentialing that will allow someone to advance in the workplace. All of our industry certifications are vetted by our business partners to ensure the skills are needed in our region. So we have partners with the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce. Matter of fact, I have a partnership council meeting tomorrow that they regularly vet these industry certifications to make sure that they're not only valuable to the state, but specifically in our region so that students can go to work immediately. One other thing that is great to know about industry certifications is that they can be transferred to post-secondary for credit. Almost all of our post-secondary our industry certifications earn 3 hours of credit at post-secondary institutions as well. And so when a student earns an industry certification, they not only earn that credentialing towards the career side, but they're also earning college credits. And you'll see that on the Ready Graduate side, that an industry certification can earn 1 to 3 credits toward that Ready Graduate. And that is because they're earning both college and career readiness. And some of them are even a little more, they're harder than others. So some of them can earn up to 3 of those 4 credits to be a Ready Graduate. Now let's look at the data associated with industry certifications. Next slide. MNPS has offered industry certifications to high school students in CTE pathways since the 2013 school year, when the district offered 9 certifications in 3 areas. Since then, MNPS certification offerings has expanded, and the district has continued to work to provide and support that students need to succeed on these certification exams. As in the earlier graph, you can see the number of attempts in green and the passage of industry certifications earned in blue. As I mentioned earlier, in the 17-18 school year, MNPS removed the financial barriers, and the increase in that year demonstrates the impact. More than 400 additional students attempted a certification from the prior year. This year, we saw our greatest increase we have had because we had very intentional and focused work. And we're going to have 2,186 students sit for an industry certification. Now, you may think that we just sort of postpone those, but today, one of the things I'm most excited to tell you that over the past 2 months, we've been working daily with students that are continuing to prepare for these exams, and in many cases, they have even taken and passed those exams from home. Students will be able to continue to take exams now and all the way through the summer and the fall. And I really look forward to being able to come back to you and share those results. You know, as I look at this graph, I'm so excited. And I guess the word that comes to mind is opportunity. Students that pass these exams can go straight to work if needed. They can use that skill to do an internship while in college. Either way, we're giving students an amazing gift, an opportunity to increase their challenges of success on both college and career. And as an old CTE gal, for years and years, I've had to say college or career, but I'm so happy to say that now we focus on college and career. And as I mentioned before, you do have a packet that looks in much more detail for both industry certifications and dual credit. But let's look at our next slide and think about moving forward. Lastly, we look into the future. We are always focused on growing, increasing ways to provide our students with an extra tool for their toolbox for life. Specifically, I want you to know that we are committed to expanding technical certificates with Nashville State Community College to every high school. And we have 2 projects with TSU right now. We have a special coding and creativity project with TSU and Apple, and I can't wait to see the results that that's going to bring. And we're also in the early stages of work building a pipeline around early childhood education. We want to grow our own teachers. So we're working with them to further develop that program for Hunters Lane High School. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank each one of you, members of the board, Dr. Battle, for your ongoing support with the Academies of Nashville and CTE. And with that, I'll turn it back over to David and let him conclude our presentation.
Thank you, Donna. Thanks again, Matt. I appreciate your presentation this afternoon. I also appreciate your leadership and collaboration as you lead these important work streams to provide all these wonderful, amazing opportunities to our kids. Next slide, Jamal. I believe that's our last one. And then Ms. Spearing, I'll turn it back over to you to entertain questions. But we always like to leave you with ways that you can think about supporting this work. As both Matt and Donna mentioned, they made such a huge difference when the district decided to fund the testing fees for all EPSO opportunities. And again, there are just a wide variety of EPSO opportunities that all of our kids have the opportunity to pursue. And that was a game changer by covering those test fees for our students. As you can see here from this presentation, from when I was in high school, AP was really the only credentialing program available, and things have changed quite a bit since then. our students have lots of options and choices when it comes to EPSO opportunities. And we think it's important to continue to fund a diverse portfolio of those opportunities. And then finally, again, as we've talked a lot about MNPS Reimagined, it's really important that we are clear in how we align our programs for coherence and consistency throughout the cluster. The change level there being the cluster, I think is really important to rally our students and our communities around these programs, thinking about what the flagship opportunities might be at the high school, but as both Matt and Donna said, piquing their interest and getting them excited as early as pre-kindergarten. They think about what they want to become as they get older and mature. So with that, Ms. Spearing, that concludes our presentation. I'll turn it back over to you for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, David, David Williams, Matt Nelson, and Donna Gilley for this very thorough, in-depth presentation. Now, what I'd like to do is for those who have questions, for those board members who have questions, please turn on your video, or yes, your video camera, so that I can recognize you. Okay. Anna, do you have a question? Ms. Shepherd?
I do. I have a few questions, actually. Students pursuing dual enrollment, do they have to pay for those college courses? Who pays for them?
Matt or Donna, either one, I think, could probably address that.
They are covered by the dual enrollment grants.
Okay.
And I think, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think students can now take up to 8 courses with that tuition covered by the dual enrollment grant.
Okay. So for several years in a row, I worked at graduation at Middle College, and the number of students earning an associate's degree was paltry at best, maybe 1, maybe 2. So what's the realistic expectation that these efforts will have in increasing the number of students graduating with an associate's degree?
I'll start, Ms. Shepherd, and happy for Matt or Donna, either one, to weigh in. But as we shifted from middle college to early college, we certainly want to start much earlier. And the work that I've been involved in with curriculum instruction is to really think about aligning the pathways. So actually looking at the course progression, the course sequencing that it would take to actually attain an associate's degree, and also simultaneously meet the high school graduation requirements. And I'm not sure that level of detail had been done in the past. But as we think about this MNPS Reimagined, one of the things that we're engaged in now as we speak is looking at data sharing agreements, so that we're really thinking about how the data can be shared across to really support the students as they matriculate in high school in those early college settings, so that they're maximally successful. But again, getting into the level of detail that it takes to really outline the course progression and course sequence is something that we take very, very seriously, so that, again, a student who is successful in that program simultaneously earns the high school diploma and that associate's degree.
Okay, you didn't answer my question, but I'll take the answer. Criswell right now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Criswell is an arts-themed school, is that correct? And yeah, it's also a feeder school for Whites Creek, correct?
I believe so. I'll have to check.
I'm pretty sure it is. So with this new work, especially at Whites Creek, are we going to change that from an art school to to some type of other thematic school?
I will respond just briefly, Ms. Spearing, to your question regarding IT Criswell. It is not a feeder school. That is a choice school that is in the Whites Creek cluster. And so as the team considered the reimagined plans, they did consider that IT Criswell does have the theme that it supports the students with.
Okay. That's all my questions.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Shepherd. Ms. Pooper Walker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have questions for a variety of you, so just bear with me. I want to just start by saying thank you so much for all the hard work to prepare for this. I know it's a lot of work to prepare for a board presentation. So I'll start with some questions I have about AP tests. So I know that you have data here to show the number of tests taken. Do you have a number of the unique number of students that took AP tests? Because I know students take more than one.
Yes, we do have that data. I'm not sure if it was in the packet that was provided, but I can certainly get that information.
That would be great. And I think, you know, for those that dug into that data, it is, I think Donna Gilly is correct that this is all of these courses and all of what we're talking about today is really about opportunity. It's about opening doors for students. And if we are going to truly open doors for our kids, we have to make these as accessible as possible. And we have to set kids up for success, right, to do well in the courses. And so alarming still to see the disparity in breakdowns by race on AP pass rates and AP participation rates. 50% of the students who take AP classes are white, so they're overrepresented. I don't think anybody should be surprised by that number. But we see the pass rates, the stark sort of disparities in pass rates. I think that's something that we really have to grapple with and figure out how we're going to address that. I recognize that a student, even there's value even in taking the class, but there's also value in getting that credit for lots of different reasons that I'm sure we're familiar with. And I think that when you take out the magnet school participation rates, it is alarming to see the actual number of kids that take the classes, much less pass the classes. And we know that lots and lots of folks pay attention to AP course taking and AP enrollment for rankings of high schools, for the way colleges approach high school students. So a student in a school like a Hume Fogg is going to get 60, 70 letters of interest from colleges, right? And they're going to be coming to their schools and going to the cafeterias and recruiting kids. We know that in schools with low AP courses, you have 5 or 6 total colleges that show up to ask these kids to enroll and so, or to apply. It's just a matter of perception, but also belief in those students. So I think any strategy we have to increase the number of AP tests is a good one to and just partake in. Donna, is personal finance a dual credit for every student, or?
It can be. Because every student is taking personal finance, we do have a local dual credit alignment. So every student could potentially take that challenge exam and earn 3 hours of elective credit.
Do you know how many kids actually take advantage of that?
I can get that for you. It's a large number, and I don't know if that was in the breakout in the information that I sent you. I do think that you can see personal finance, and that's business 1300. So you can see, for example, this year there were 860 of the 2100 were personal finance students. Okay. So it's always a large chunk of students because it's offered in every school.
Okay, that's great. I think that is the ticket for us. And I think that, you know, what they call sort of removing these hoops, having kids opt out of these opportunities as opposed to opting into these opportunities. Like what we need to do is say, we believe every one of you should take advantage of this. If you don't want it, you have to say those words. I think that should be our philosophy here. So what I saw on I'm sorry.
I'll jump in and say that's interesting, and I'm glad to hear you say that. We've been doing that in CTE for their third level courses because typically the industry certification or the dual credit is aligned with their third level course. And so what we've been saying for a few years is we should be teaching this level of rigor to all students. And so we're going to go ahead and put you in the course code that is coded for this advanced level and allow students to opt out. So I'll probably use your words to try to convince others that we can do that in the future. And I'd like to add one of the things that I'm most proud of in our local dual credit and industry certifications too. If you took our demographics of our enrollment in our high schools and you laid them over the demographics of the pass rate, they would almost be identical. And because they haven't been in campus and we've now remedied that, we all had to do all of that by hand. So it was quite tedious, but we did this a few years ago, and I was so excited to say that really there were a few shifts, plus or minus 5% one way or the other. But for the most part, the students that are taking and passing, and that is why I say that local dual credit is really an equalizer. It's for all students to be exposed to college level work.
Okay, I just have a couple of quick more things, and I do want to give a huge shout out to CTE teachers who are doing all of that work to get students to the finish line, even during coronavirus. I think that's so impressive. I do think those pass rates are striking compared to our AP pass rates. I think when you have 20% of kids passing AP tests, 70% of our kids taking industry certification, I think they're both rigorous. I think we have to have some conversations about why we see that. And then my last question really is, do we have a sense at all this year of the number of our seniors of class of 2020 that are categorized as ready graduates? Do we know that number yet?
Ms. Walker, it will be a while because, as Dr. Nelson said, when we get scores back, later this summer with our advanced academic programs, because the calculation is simply the number of ready graduates is defined by meeting those 4 criteria divided by the number of students in the graduating cohort. And so once we get all that data on the back end, we'll be able to go back and figure that out.
My last comment really is around these industry certifications. I know this was baked into the earliest design of the academies and all the rest, but we have to really stay focused on high wage, high skill, and not do what's easy, but do what is best for students. And so I know we have some industry certifications that are putting kids on a pathway to lower pay and tracks that are not probably in their best interest. And I just want to make sure we are really laser focused on really setting kids up to come out of MNPS and making good money while they're going to school and post-secondary. And so appreciate everybody's hard work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jean. Dr. Gentry.
Thank you. I'm just going to, most of what I was going to, the topics I brought up have already been mentioned, so I appreciate my colleagues for doing that. I just want to go back to the comment or the question around associate degrees, and I think I feel the same way as Ms. Walker's comment about the experience, right? So the students, and I don't know that we market the early college or the middle college as the goal being to get the associate's degree, but the opportunity is there, right, for you to get the associate's degree. But to David Williams, Dr. Williams' point, we just need to, I think it would be helpful to the student to have more clarity around what the effort is to get it, what it takes, the feasibility of it, and being really, giving that. And I actually do have a question just around what does that advising look like? So when a student is at on Nashville State's campus in the middle college program, what does that advising look like? I mean, how do they pick who's advising them in that space? If the interest is around the college courses and the pathway to an associate's degree.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Dr. Gentry. And I know that the original application and the process to become enrolled in early middle college over at Nashville State was to try to get about 100 students per year. So by the end of when it's fully enrolled, you'd have 400 students. So part of that application is to target students and have them apply if they're interested in pursuing a particular associate's degree. And my memory fails me now about which exactly, one was sort of medical care, and I think one was technology-based. Exactly the associate's degree. Is that right, Donna? I see you're shaking your head. But the idea is that those courses are already laid out. And so I think when a student enrolls, they have the same access to counselors, college counselors, where they can actually look at what it takes to become successful. And those pathways are laid out sequentially already. And so then it's a matter of just counseling them into being successful in completing those courses. And successful completion of the courses will, by definition, the way the program is set up, confer an associate's degree as well as a high school diploma. Dr. Battle, do you have something to add, please?
I would just add that part of our transition from the middle college experience to the early college experience was to take away the if or the but and getting the associate's degree. And so now with the early college experience, we've aligned our courses to ensure that students who finish their high school experience at early college will graduate with a high school diploma and an associate's degree.
Awesome. Thank you for that. a couple of, I think I have a couple of data requests. And one is, do we have, and I didn't see it in the packet, so I apologize if I missed it. Is there a matrix that shows by high school what are the CTE that's available?
I'm glad you asked. I think our team is excited. The state legislature actually passed last session, 2 years ago now, a requirement that all schools have to make that information publicly available. So on our MNPS district website, as well as each individual high school's website, they have all of their EPSO opportunities actually laid out very, very clearly.
Good. Okay, because I get the questions about that. And the same with the AP courses, is that available sort of in the same space? Like which AP, because I know Whites Creek was really low on the list a few years ago in the number of AP opportunities, just courses available compared to the other high schools in the district. So we're really curious as to what AP courses are available by school as well. So, you know, to Ms. Cooper-Walker's comment, our magnet schools are in the 20s. Right, in the courses that are offered. And then we have, you know, Whites Creek, again, at one point, was definitely at the lower end of the spectrum in the number of courses that was available. So I'd be interested in seeing what those courses are as well by school. To Ms. Cooper-Walker's, again, comment on the CTEs, I would just ask the question, and I saw in the packet that the Nashville Chamber has a group that actually kind of approves those courses. How often are they reviewed for relevance, right? So when I look at your matrix that was in the packet, we have several courses that have zero engagement, right? So zero interest from students. So my question is, are we kind of, I don't know, wasting capacity, for lack of a better phrase? And are those courses and those certifications reviewed regularly, not just for additions, but for relevance of the ones that are there? Are they our high value experiences for our students, so that they're coming out not just ready for a career, but a career that will sustain them and allow them to be contributing?
That's great. Thank you. We vet all industry certifications every single year with our partnership councils. And so those are probably 40 or 50 business partners in all the industry areas to add new industry certifications like you mentioned, but also to look at the list and say, you know, is this still relevant? Is this still the certification that's needed in that industry? And so that's done on a yearly basis. But because industry certifications become such a hot topic with the ready graduate, the state now vets the list on a regular basis as well to make sure it qualifies for a ready graduate. And that requirement, you may remember that I mentioned that the industry certification must earn post-secondary credit. And so that's one of the requirements the state has to make their approved list.
Okay, great. And I was just saying, I was just looking, especially what drew the question was that we have a few of those for several years, at least for the past 3 years, that data have had no interest, at least expressed by the students. And then the last thing I'll just add, you know, Ms. Cooper-Walker's other comment about just a disparity in pass rates across racial lines just reminds me of the work that we engaged Dr. Shun Turner to take on with regards to Encore, right? And the racial disparity in a number of students that were identified as eligible to participate in Encore activities in our schools. And so I would just, you know, ask us to you know, I support the effort to take a closer look at whether or not, you know, students are getting more pushed towards the CTEs, or they're not as supported in the AP space as they are in the CTE space. So whatever we need to do to start working and address whatever may be contributing to that disparity, I look forward to hearing back about that. And that's all. Thank you, Ms. Spearing.
Thank you, Dr. Gentry. Does every one of our high schools offer AP classes now?
Yes, there's every high school has some combination of AP courses, but it does vary the number of AP courses offered at high schools. I do want to point out, though, that at our schools that offer the other advanced programs, the AP courses usually will dwindle down. So they will offer fewer AP courses so that the students can take the Cambridge or the IB courses instead.
Okay, thank you. It is 5 minutes till 5. I don't see any other new cameras on, so I'm going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting. And Frida Player, do you have a question? Your microphone is muted.
Oh, there we go. To follow up on Dr. Gentry's kind of comment on some of the programs that don't have any participation, also knowing they're more in the trades, in the building trades, have you worked with some of the building trade unions about certification with those products, or is that all through the TCE? Is that right? Yeah. Or does it go through there? And also, do they have, I guess, input on what that looks like, of what those trades look like, given where we are in Nashville, the construction boom and things like that?
Great question. And one of the things when you see lower percentages around the study, until 2 years ago, we only had one program of study in the trades, and that was a residential construction pathway at Cambridge High School, and that has been a very high demand and high interest pathway for a while. But just recently, the year before last, we added an HVAC pathway at Overton High School, and as a matter of fact, our business partner provides us a teacher free of charge, teaching HVAC and mechanical and electrical at Overton High School. So the pool of students you're pulling from is much smaller when you don't have as many pathways. And we have intentionally tried to add additional pathways. So now we have construction at Cambridge, we have HVAC, mechanical, electrical at Overton, and would love to see additional pathways come up in the future. But that's why you're seeing fewer on some of those. They're just fewer pools of students to pull from. But we do partner with several of our unions around the trades.
All right, thank you, Ms. Frida Player. So I'm going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting. So we'll have just a few minutes before our 5 o'clock meeting. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation and for all my colleagues' input and questions. Thank you.